In this video, I want to talk about oil pastels and storage. First of all, you're going to see a picture that I've taken of the oil pastels in their storage drawer. I want you to notice how the bins that the oil pastels are in are stacked in the drawer. Notice they're too high and they go in the long way. So they're not put in like this sideways, but they go in this way. The next thing I want you to notice is that there's a number on the top of each one. Each number represents your table number. So there are numbers 2 through 9. Table number 1 and 10, these are extras in case I need them for something else. So when you go to take your bin out of the drawer and you take your table number, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to unhook these side pieces. This helps lock the top on. So we're going to unhook that. We're going to lift this off, and then we're going to place this down on the table in the middle of our table, and we're going to put this on top. When we are using these, this is for everybody to share. We're not going to argue over them. We can't hog them to ourselves. We're sharing them. Uh-oh. Look at what I found. There is a pencil inside, and there is an eraser. Do these belong in our oil pastel bin? If you said no, you are right. So if you know where pencils and erasers go, you need to put them back in the pencil and eraser bin. If you find a material in here that you don't know where it belongs and you don't know where to put it, then you bring it to me and I will take care of it. The next thing I want you to notice, oh, you know what? I just noticed something else. Look at this. Is this in the right bin? This is an oil pastel bin. So here's the difference. Do you see an oil pastel and a crayon? Oil pastels have oil, crayons have wax. This doesn't belong in the bin either. So I'm going to take this aside so I can put it away where it's supposed to go. Oil pastels are very similar to crayons in that they are thick. They have paper on them that if you need to peel the paper down, if this gets really low and you find you need to peel the paper, you can easily peel the paper. However, does this paper go back in this bucket? The answer should be no. This paper, you can make a little pile if you need to on the side, and at the end of class, you can take this pile and you can throw it in recycling. I'm noticing here that, oh, this one has it. It's just, it looks like this a little bit is, this one maybe broke. So we're just going to take that and do that. So I want to show you how to work with oil pastels. The one difference between oil pastels and crayons is that these are made with oil and crayons are made with wax. Wax doesn't blend well together, but if you overlap oil pastels can blend. The other thing, because it has such a big tip on it, then you can't really get teeny tiny little pieces. You can't color in really tiny spots. So these are kind of for larger drawings. Now, some of you may notice that you have something like this on there. If you have something like that, you could take a piece of scrap paper and you could just kind of clean off that edge. Kind of have a scrap paper maybe at your table where you might clean that edge off so that you don't end up with a mixed color. So that's something that you could do. Now I want to share how to blend these. So I want you to notice that I have a light green. Here's a dark green. And let's use yellow, because yellow is pretty good too. I was going to use a medium green, but I chose yellow instead. And I'll show you a couple other ones as well. So with oil pastel, you can blend. So I could color something in solid, like this, and then I could use yellow on top. And do you see how it kind of changes the color? The other thing I could do is I could use something like this, where maybe I just color in small areas, and then I use, let's try green. We can go on top here, green, and then if you wanted to, you could take your finger and you can blend, and you can see that that really blends it together, okay? So that's one way that you can use oil pastels. Another way would be maybe getting, let's say I wanted to make a blue-green. So I'm going to take this green. Uh-oh, see, I just broke it. That's okay. That happens. Mistakes happen, and things break, and that's all right. So here's a blue. So you can see the blue color there. But do you see by overlapping, do you see I'm getting like a blue-green color, kind of like a teal or an aqua? So that is how you can blend if you want to blend. Now sometimes I don't really like blending with my finger. I prefer to just blend using just the crayons, the oil pastels. I just said crayons. These aren't crayons, they're oil pastels. By just using the oil pastels themselves. So I might take this here, and then I might take a green, and I just might go on top. And one thing you're going to notice is that if I just go back and forth using the color, I'm still going to get that blue-green color, but it's not as streaky. It's more of a solid. So the oil pastels allow you to blend. Now when you're done with your oil pastels, it's really important that you make sure all of these are put back in the bin. It's important that the top goes on, and before you put this away, you want to make sure both of your latches on the side are closed. And when you put this back, this is not just tossed into the drawer, but that it goes back going in the right direction and stacked.